They're literally giving you the blueprint to become a millionaire. Some of you multimillionaires, life-changing wealth. The issue with the public is we're not paying attention. We're worried about the Trump-Elon feud. Now we're looking at this way at other distractions. Before it was the pandemic. Remember, problem, reaction, solution. The public is going to wake up in 2030 in a completely different financial system. And the richest families in the world are quietly accumulating things like Bitcoin. Let me just give you some numbers. 95% of the public does not have exposure to crypto out of 8 billion people in the world. Bitcoin has a fixed supply of 21 million. 95% of the supply is gone. Only 5% is left. So if 95% of the supply is gone and only 5% is left, and 95% of the public does not have exposure to crypto specifically, then who is holding this asset class and why? And that's what we're going to break down today, and how I've used these strategies to free my family financially in the investment side and free my family on the cash flow side. I focus on 4 things. Cash flow. Cash is absolute trash. We want to transmute the cash into deflationary assets, things that have fixed supplies, just like the Trump family's doing, that I'm going to show you. We want to focus on protection. We want to protect our wealth just like the banks do and just like the elites do through cash value life insurance. And 4 is leverage, leverage, leverage. Everybody believes in leverage, but the American public uses leverage to become poor, and the wealthy use leverage to become wealthier. We just have to flip our brain, take the middle ground, and reverse engineer everything. And that's what we're going to teach you here on this channel. So let's dive right in. So the first thing I want to show you guys, my narrative's coming true, guys. It's just logic. It's just logic, okay? We're in a debt-based system that has 130% debt-to-income ratio. We have more debt than we have income, and they're about to monetize the living shit out of the balance sheet. They're going to print more money than in history, but they're going to grow their way out of the economy. You're going to feel very, 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 very wealthy in the physical world. So hear me out on this, okay? They're going to lower taxes. There's going to be more money pumped into America than we've ever seen before, but they're going to bury America in debt. They're going to devalue the dollar. This is why, okay? So here's the thing. You're going to get more money in your pocket, but what are we going to do, Americans? Okay? We go buy bigger cars. We get bigger houses. We buy faster iPhones. We get bigger screen TVs, flat screen TVs. Okay, we make the wealthier wealthier. And what the wealthy do is when they print money and they lower interest rates and they lower taxes and put money in the wealthy's pocket, we take money, we create cash flow, we put into deflationary assets, we borrow against those assets to buy the things, OPM. Okay, so that's all we're here to do on this channel, is to help you rewire your brain so you end up on the right side of this coin by 2030. Okay, so update. This came from Cointelegraph yesterday. Eric and Donald Trump Jr. backed Eric Trump and Donald Trump Jr. backed American Bitcoin quietly. Is that what they said? Backed American Bitcoin quietly accumulates. Am I saying that correctly? Update. Eric and Donald Trump Jr. backed American Bitcoin quietly accumulates 215 BTC since April, since launch ahead of public merger. Okay, there we go. I got it. Here it is, guys. But let's go a little bit deeper. What is actually happening here? Okay, so I'm going to share this video from French Hill, and I want you to listen to this. So this is about the coming up with the clarity around the Genius Act. So you're going to have stablecoin regulation come in. Okay, they're going to tokenize treasuries. They're going to revalue gold. So I'm going to bring Judy Selton into this conversation as well, and then I'm going to share with you my narrative on what I believe they're going to do.
Excuse me. Over in the Senate, my friend Bill Hagerty is leading debate on the Genius Act, which is a dollar-backed stablecoin. That's what the CEO of Circle was referring to. And here in the House today, the House Ag Committee and the House Financial Services Committee will be marking up our Clarity Act, which gives the framework for regulations. What's a commodity? What's a security? How does a bank hold digital assets in custody? How do banks and individuals and peer-to-peer networks work? How do decentralized self-custody wallets work? How are they regulated? All that's contained in the Clarity Act, and that's why both these bills are very, very important to the goal of a digital asset future for the U.S. You can't just pass a stablecoin bill and have any place to effectively use it. You need the Clarity Act to give us that market framework that will make America the leader in crypto development and distributed ledger financial services.
Boom. Distributed ledger technology. Ripple, XRP. Interesting, right? Okay. So I've been in our Warrior Academy tomorrow. I'm breaking down for my warriors the stages, right? Went from wild west speculation. Now we're going into regulation. Okay. You still have time. There's regulation. There's rules of the road and clarity. Banks are not going to start implementing this until they have full clarity. With a stablecoin act passing, makes it okay for bring a stablecoin. They're going to tokenize treasuries. Okay. It's going to be one-to-one backing. It's going to make the American dollar very, 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 very powerful. Okay. It's going to be an apparent stable coin, stable. It gives the appearance that it's stable. Okay. Then you're going to start to get rules of the road on how they can custody these, how they can get customers involved. And once that starts to come in, you're going to see mass adoption. So you have regulation, you have adoption, then you have tokenization. You still have, it's about 6 years of this. Now, what I mean by that is, of course, within the 6 years, you still have 6 years, Raw Paul says it, to not F this up. But in the short term, we got a nice little bull run coming up back into this year, okay? We still believe in the Warrior Academy. People think there's going to be this massive super cycle. There could be, but as long as the fiat system exists, there's still going to be a bottom, we believe. And I'm not banking on that. That's why I do calm exit strategy on the way up, and I just dollar cost average on the way down, and I buy it every single day. So I have daily focused, a monthly focus, quarterly focus, annual focus, and an exit strategy, okay, for all my wealth. I want to bring up Judy Shelton again, guys. You want to pay attention to Judy Shelton, okay? Let's put all our positive energy towards it. If they put Judy Shelton in charge of the feds, guys, she's anti-central bank. She just posted this. Now, remember the video I showed you yesterday. If you haven't watched that, go watch the video from yesterday. I show where Judy Shelton talks about the narrative I was talking about is revaluing the gold and buying Bitcoin. So revaluing the gold, you take the profit. It's just an accounting measure. The gold's there. You revalue it. You move the accounting measure, the profit, over and buy Bitcoin. Budget neutral way. Bo Bine said we're going to buy as much Bitcoin as we can. The economic advisor for Trump, Judy Shelton, was the economic advisor for Trump this last administration. Revalue, take the profit, buy Bitcoin, the new digital gold. Remember, 95% of the supply is gone. 95% of the public doesn't have exposure to crypto. Who owns it? The elites. They tricked us, guys. It was always designed for the new monetary system. So she said, absolutely agree. We should audit the U.S. gold holdings and also examine the Fed operation. America needs to be assured of the nation's gold monetary reserves and remind of their legacy role as the bulwark for the integrity of our currency. Okay. So what I believe is going to happen, the Stablecoin Act is going to pass. The banks are going to get rules of the road. Okay. So we're going to go into a digital asset-backed type currency. He just said it, distributed ledger technology. What is Ripple? It's a distributed ledger technology company. XRP operates on a distributed ledger technology. All banks are going to operate on DLT. That's why I focus on real world assets. That's why my number one holding is XRP. My number two is Bitcoin, and I'll explain both different mechanisms. You have tribalism in these two asset classes. It's absolutely ridiculous. XRP is a bridge currency. Bitcoin is a store of value. It's that simple. You can own Bitcoin and you can be cool with XRP people. XRP people, you can be cool with Bitcoin. Tribalism makes zero sense. They're tools. It's not a cult. Okay. And I'm going to explain to you how I use both of these tools. What they're going to do is, this is my opinion. Okay. Is I believe they're going to revalue gold. They're going to go in there and see if the gold's there. Hopefully the gold's there. If the gold, even if it's not there, they're going to revalue gold. Gold is extremely undervalued. So let's just say it went from 2,700 to 10,000. They take the profit there. They'd monetize that balance sheet. They take the profit and they're going to buy Bitcoin with that. Okay. Again, I'm going to keep bringing this up to you guys. Deflationary, 95% of the supply is gone. 5% is left. Okay. You can't just buy up all the Bitcoin left. It's mined every single, the 450 is released or mined every single day. Okay. It slowly is, I think it's the next 116 years it'll be released. So you can't just go up and buy it. So there has to be buyers, there has to be sellers. If there's buyers and sellers, that's called a supply and demand issue. If there's a supply and demand issue, what happens? The asset class goes up. It's completely opposite of the US dollar. US dollar, they can print, devalue your dollar every single day. And every year, if you don't beat a 2% inflation, you become poor. This is a completely opposite mechanism. Let's bring it up one more time just to get this into your brain. 95% of the supply is gone. 95% of the public doesn't have exposure to it. 10% of the population owns 80% of the markets. Who owns this stuff? We got played. It wasn't designed. I don't think it was designed for, the crypto people to run off and change it was designed to rewire the banking system. Okay. I really believe that. I really believe that, because if 95% of the supply is gone, 80% of the supply has not moved, and 95% of the public doesn't have exposure to it, then that means the richest people in the world own Bitcoin. And now they're showing us that they own Bitcoin. So the Trump family, what they are doing, their strategy is to accumulate as much digital assets as they can. They got the World Liberty Financial. I actually bought into the World Liberty Financial. Okay. They're going to get as many hard assets as they can. They have a ton of real estate. They're going to lower interest rates. They're going to print money. Well, what happens? They can buy more real estate. They can buy more Bitcoin. Okay. They're moving into the deflationary system as the unsuspecting public is stuck in an inflationary system. At some point, there's going to be a winner and there's going to be a loser. The losers are going to be the ones that get a bunch of money in their pocket from lower taxes, lower milk prices, lower egg prices, and they go buy stuff. The winners are going to be the people that transmute this cash into cash flow. The ones that take the cash flow and put it into deflationary assets that appreciate. Then when they start to appreciate, they learn how to protect some of that wealth with insurance. And with insurance and the deflationary asset, you have two banks. Then you learn how to leverage responsibly. You leverage at a certain percentage rate. And if you can beat the hurdle rate with your cash flow, or it's growing faster than the interest rate, you're beating the hurdle rate because it's deflationary. You buy a cash generating asset, boom, you pay that off, and then your family is free financially. That's what we did. So I hope this helps. Some of you are going to make a lot of money in crypto coming up. Do not buy a bigger house. Do not buy Lambos. Do not buy Ferraris. Do not buy stuff. Buy cash flow. Buy more deflationary assets. Protect yourself with insurance. Make sure you set up an empire. The time will come. That's what I've done the last 5 years. The time is coming where I can buy the fun stuff. It's coming. Like I could literally, that will come for you. I promise. Okay. People stay in a job for 30 years that they hate to retire with $250,000, maybe $1 million at 4%, which is $40,000 retirement income, but they won't be disciplined for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, even 6 years. There is no get rich quick. If you want to, get rich quick, play in the meme coins, go to the casino, buy a lottery ticket. This is not how wealth is built. It's patience. It's persistent. It's a person who can stay in the market the longest. Who becomes the wealthiest. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. If you need any support, description of this video down below on YouTube, you'll see my 4-week program. I also have a free section on our YouTube channel where I go down all this. I have a cash flow one I just did. It's all free. You can go through and plagiarize and copy exactly what I'm doing. We also have our insurance company. I own my Freedom Insurance. I bought my own firm. I brought on elite agents that understand proper cash value life insurance. Number one, how to structure them properly. Number two is teach you how to fund them properly. Okay. There's a lot of people in cash value life insurance policies throwing in $100 a month thinking they're going to become, multimillionaires. These things need to be funded properly. They need to be structured properly. You need to understand how the power of compounding works. Okay. The first 7 years is very important with these types of policies. You have to know how they work, the mechanisms. You have to know all the ups and downs, the fees, the structure, and all that stuff. And I built an elite team to teach you all that stuff. And you can set up a free consultation with my team. Love you guys. Appreciate you. Warriors, let's get your shit together. Let's go.